Get that off my screen. Oh, that's great. Everybody gotta be fucking up right now, dude. Good morning. Oh man, apologies. A couple people were walking by. Didn't want to make it seem as if I was recording them. So yeah, I just decided to do a random live video from S21 Ultra. Mainly because I'm testing out a day in the life kind of deal with this, kind of similar to your average consumer, especially after the review cycle that I do have. I just wanted to see how well it holds up. So yeah. Plus, now that I'm finally able to do this again in terms of live videos, it's just nice to have that kind of option. Now, obviously, since I'm doing this through YouTube's camera app and not from the phone's camera app itself, you're not going to get all the sweet stabilization options, 60 frames per second, things like that. You're not going to get that. So don't take this as like a testament to how well the S21 Ultra's camera is. Obviously, I've detailed in my review and subsequent videos. So, yeah. It's me and my girl's 8th year anniversary today, so I'm just going out. And since it's also, funnily enough, Mother's Day, going to her mom's house to give her Mother's Day presents. So, yeah. It was a very nice day out. So, hey, what's up? I have to like constantly monitor the chat myself while making sure I'm not recording anybody. So, yeah. Last time I was able to do a live video was with the LG V30, and that was before YouTube decided to hold off live videos for people under 1,000 subscribers. And now that I'm over 1,000 subscribers, obviously I'm able to do that now. So that's very nice. It's a very nice day out. I really like that. It's just nice out here. So I guess for this, you can ask whatever question you want, I suppose. I don't necessarily want to make it a, you can just say nothing, and I obviously don't want to sit here and just walk. So ask whatever question you want about anything, I guess. Well, anything tech related, and we can go from there. That looks terrible. Especially with the lens refraction that's going on right there. That looked pretty fucking bad. But Yeah, it's quite beautiful out today. I really do enjoy that. Especially after like the first 4 months of the winter kind of being first 4 months of this year kind of being winter here in Minnesota and just cold. It's nice to have a cool breeze, but also, have some sun out. So that's nice. Man. I'm going to attempt to do these more often. I think I'd rather do them in my apartment than outside because, as you guys can see, it's quite choppy. And doing it on 5G probably doesn't help. But whatever. Well. Oh, shit. So what's everybody doing for the 2 to 3 people that are watching? Like I said, it's just me and my girlfriend's anniversary, 8 years. Jesus Christ. But, well, now 1, I guess. The problem is, I don't know if people are saying anything. Because YouTube is being kind of weird. But this is also testing how well this phone does with, like, heat, I guess. And obviously on YouTube Live, I can indeed switch to the selfie camera. I'm just not doing that. Not because, I don't want my face on camera. It's just I'd have to hold it way out there. I just don't feel like doing that. Thanks. I really do appreciate that. Well, hope you get the V60 soon. It's still a very good phone. And a lot of reviewers that I tend to watch are really going back and getting the V60 again, and they're loving it. So it's like, I feel more and more people are going to see just how good that phone is. And obviously I still have it in my pocket right now. I'm mainly because I am doing a video. If you haven't heard already, I'm doing a video on the more of a day in the life kind of deal, like your average consumer. But I feel this isn't to slight him or anything. That's not what I'm doing. But mainly after a couple months of usage, I want to see just how well this phone could still hold up during a day of usage. So that's what I'm doing here. And there's somebody coming right now, so I might just end up putting my phone to the side of me. But yeah, let me do that here real quick. Good morning. So something that's really weird, when it comes to Samsung, and this is something that I feel like needs to get talked about more when it comes to updates, is yes, they push out updates monthly. It's obviously regional, because some people got theirs like May 3rd. Some of them are getting them like pretty much. They got them a few days ago as well. I still haven't got mine, and this is an unlocked Ultra, so it's not like, oh, I'm on T-Mobile. I'm not. Or on any carrier, which is funny. It was also funny because when I had my Note 10 and the S20 FE, those phones actually got updates faster on T-Mobile and on carriers than the unlocked variant did. So it was kind of weird that people constantly push, oh yeah, get your phone unlocked if you want updates faster, because I've seen within these past 2 generations of Samsung phone that hasn't really been the case, especially since they're talking about 3 to 4 years of major software support for these phones. This isn't to be like, oh, it's trash. That's not what I'm saying. It's just more, I feel as if the whole Samsung is giving you yearly updates, and that's all you should care about, is or monthly updates for 4 years. I feel like you need to look at things like quality over quantity. And that's why I feel, even though LG was pretty damn stagnant, to say the least, with their updates, with the V60 at the very least, when I was able to get updates, I got them fast when I finally got an AT&T SIM for my V60. So it's very weird, right? I'm not trying to say, oh, monthly updates are bad. It's just, when every monthly update comes with a whole bunch of fixes, and that's it, I feel like Samsung really needs to put out like, they're kind of becoming the Bethesda of phones right now, where their phones come out, they're kind of half-baked, and then I guess you could also say that for like OnePlus as well. They come out, they're kind of half-baked, and then every update is fixing some shit. And obviously software is not going to be perfect when it comes out. There are obviously going to be issues. Even with the same damn phone, you can see issues spanning different models of different phones. Like, for example, the AT&T variant of the V60 had this like issue. It had this issue where under certain like temperature conditions, the screen wouldn't turn back on. Like, it would still operate, but you'd have to reset the phone and able to get it, not factory reset, but soft reset the phone to have it turn back on. And that was just something that happened with the it would soft lock, and that's what happened with the V60. They updated that no longer was a thing. And it was just that was pretty much the only issue I had with the V60 at the time when I first got it. But S20 FE, for example, it had display issues, heat issues. I noticed the heat issue. I didn't really notice the display issue, where very much like the iPhone 12 mini, it had touch response issues. I didn't feel that. I didn't notice that, honestly. But the heat issues I definitely did notice. And overall, it did become this thing where it wasn't like a hot pocket in your hand or anything like that, but it was it got pretty goddamn warm doing nothing. And that was kind of weird. Then when Android 11 came around to the S20 FE, I talked about this quite a bit when I had the phone. The camera was pretty much unusable for like a couple weeks until they decided to push out an update. Now, if you don't use your camera, that's something that just doesn't really matter. But for me, somebody that uses the camera, and the S20 FE is a really good camera, that kind of sucks because the user interface was just laggy as all hell when the viewfinder and all that. Like going into 30x zoom would take like 2 seconds from pressing it. Zooming in and out, pinching to zoom would be very weird, and it just wouldn't be responsive. It was odd. And with the Ultra, the only real problem that I have can't really be solved because obviously the Snapdragon 888 runs pretty goddamn hot, but they can do some things to temper the load. I know they're not gonna throttle the performance on the Ultra, but which I'd rather them not because this phone is very fast and it doesn't get hot doing basic shit. So that's honestly something that I feel is more important. If it gets hot doing basic stuff or warm doing basic stuff, then there's something you got to do in your software. But if it's getting hot doing stuff that I kind of anticipated getting hot with doing, like say doing this, recording a live doing a live video, or recording 4K 60 footage. I don't know why I still say footage. It's not a film reel. I just grew up in that era still, I guess. But yeah, for things that I expected to get warm with, it gets warm with, I don't really have a problem with. Like say if it's rendering 4K 60 video, recording 4K 60 video, things like, or playing a game for an hour or a couple hours at a time. Those things I can easily just let go and be like, well, you should expect that. But for other things, I do feel like the phone kind of gets, the S20 FE got hot in its initial like week or two doing nothing. And it was kind of weird. Like phones didn't really get this warm since like the 1M10 and the G Flex 2, which I didn't have, but it is something that I do bring up because that phone got heavily throttled because it was just randomly getting hot. So that was, it's kind of like that, but Samsung is just not throttling the phone, which I'm fine with, right? Because I'd rather have maximum performance and the phone gets a little warm. Because let me tell you something, enhanced processing mode on this phone just doesn't do anything really. People use it as a metric to be like, yeah, put on enhanced processing to test this phone. You don't need it. Like for video rendering, it's only like a 10-second difference. Like it doesn't do anything for games. They tell you that. It doesn't really do anything for like, in terms of like day-to-day regular performance. It also doesn't really do anything. Like it just might be slightly faster. So I feel enhanced processing on the Ultra just isn't needed. On the base S21, where that phone is just heavily throttled for no reason. Well, not heavily throttled, but throttled for no reason. Yeah, put it on. What headphones would I recommend with the V60? What price point are you looking at? Because in terms of what I would say, it ultimately depends on your budget. You can easily go with like some TRN V30s or something. So this is really nice. But if you want something that's like just fantastic and that just does the job, and you want to get something like an adapter that you can make them wireless as well, I'd say go with the Shure tapes, SHUOER tape. So like a cassette tape. They're like $130. They did just come out with the Tape Pros. I've heard very good things about them. I do want to get those, but the Shure tapes are just fantastic. I really do like them. If you want to go a little bit, if you want cans, I honestly can't really recommend enough the Sennheiser HD 650s, or if you want to go to, say, drop.com, which was Mass Drop at one point. They just renamed themselves. They're like, I think they're 250. I'd go with them. I do have a review and a comparison between the Shure tapes and the 10P1s as well. So if you want to look at that, you can. But yeah, I'd honestly recommend, you don't really have to bust your pocket for good headphones these days. Busting your pockets these days, that mainly comes with True Wireless now. That's where you're busting your pocket. But for like very good IEMs, for example, like I said, the Shure tapes are like very good. They're like, they're what I really do compare in terms of sound signature and overall sound, all these like True Wireless IEMs to, or True Wireless earbuds, not IEMs. But yeah, that's what I would say. Shure tapes are very good. And if you don't just want to look at my review of the Shure tapes, look up Z Reviews. He also did a review. And funnily enough, he also did a comparison between that and the P1s as well. And the problem with the 10P1s is that due to the nature of their driver, they're planar magnetic. And due to the fact that they're low impedance, the V6, you're just going to see them as a basic bitch headphone. So you're not going to get the true nature of V6. You can't run them. You definitely can. But the Sennheiser HD 650, or if you want to go to drop.com, they're the 6XX. Let me check the battery at 88. That's not bad. And the phone's staying pretty goddamn cool, too. What the fuck?